It's time for Peptide Talk, featuring Garrett Pope. Now, here is your host, Joe Zapata.
What's up, guys? Joe Zapata here. Another week of Peptide Talk. I'm here with the king of peptides himself, Garrett Pope. What's up, Garrett?
What's up?
What is going on, man? Before we get started, like always, I say every week, go to equipfoods.com, use promo code JerseyJZ, get 15% off your order. They got protein, they got creatine, they got everything. They got new protein coming out. So just go there, check it out, use promo code JerseyJZ, and get 15% off your order. All right, guys. Garrett, I know we talk about peptides and training every week, but something people have been asking me is talking about as we get older in our 50s and we're using peptides, how to not only train, but the proper way to eat. And that's something that I wanted to talk to you about, because I always told people if you have the three things on the same page, but that's supplements, training, and diet, you're going to probably grow and look good. Those are the three things I always say. So Garrett, without being a bodybuilding lifestyle where you have to eat 8 times a day, 9 times a day, over 50, and you're someone who's just going to the gym, using peptides, using TRT, what's the best way to eat as far as diet-wise? What do you recommend for your clients? How do they should eat?
Frequent meals still.
Okay.
I still eat about 7 times a day.
Okay.
I tell most people try to get in 5 meals a day. Okay. 5 meals a day for most people will be your hit point. That'll be perfect for you. Okay. Especially over 50. Over 50, I actually believe you need to take in a little bit more protein, actually.
Oh, really?
Because your body doesn't utilize it the same anymore. So your body will waste a lot of it compared to when you were younger and it just feeds off of it. So take in a little bit more protein than you would normally. You know, the whole adage in the past of a gram of protein per pound of body weight. So let's just throw out there if somebody's a 200-pound person. I would go a little higher. I would try to go like 225 grams of protein per day for that person then. Go a little bit higher. You got to take your carbohydrates in. I know a lot of people like the 0 carb thing and all that, but you need that for fuel. You need that, if you go too low carbs, you're also going to feel and look very flat, just no hard time getting a muscle pump and all that. You got to take plenty of water in. Okay. Water is key. You got to be drinking tons and tons of water. You keep your fats low. I tell people of any age, but especially over 50, keep your sugars to a minimum.
Okay.
Keep your sodium low. I know all the popular myths now, and people, they're taking extra salt and they're taking because salt the body needs. Over 50, you have to be careful. Remember something, a lot of people have high blood pressure. A lot of people you can't take too much salt in. You have to be careful. You got to remember, everything you eat has salt in it. So people hear things on Instagram and this and that. Oh, I need to be taking extra salt. Well, hold on a minute. Are you sweating? Do you have a job that you're working outdoors that you're sweating your ass off? Okay. Or, down here in Florida, if you're an HVAC person, okay, you're working with ACs all the time. All right. Guess what? Yeah. Take extra salt in, take sodium in. You need it. You're losing. If you train and you're sweating a lot when you train, okay. But if you're just the average person and you go to the gym, half-ass, and you're on the phone in the gym or this and that, you don't need to be taking extra salt in. Trust me, bro. You're getting plenty of salt in your diet. Okay. You don't need to add extra, and you're not sweating to the point of releasing and losing all this salt. I mean, for example, like all my shirts, my shirts I train in, okay, whether it's a t-shirt, whether it's a no sleeve shirt, whatever it is, I have all in the armpits. I know exactly, you already know what I mean. They become like rock hard. The salt sets in there. No matter how many times you wash your clothes, they become rock hard in the armpits. That's your body expelling that salt. Now, if your armpits and your workout clothes look like that, guess what? You should be taking extra salt in. If your armpits don't, you're not losing that much salt. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you got to keep an eye on sodium. You got to keep an eye on sugars. You know, fats. You need healthy fats. You do. You know, all these people out there. I take 0 fats, and that's not right either. You need healthy fats. You don't need to be eating crap, but healthy fats. You know.
What about if you cramp? If you cramp up, if you're cramping at 50, because I know some people say they cramp. Is that a sign of salt, that you need more salt?
Yeah. Easiest thing for cramps: pickle juice.
Pickle juice. Okay.
Easiest thing in the world. Pickle juice. Pickle juice will solve your problem. For years and years, I still during the off season, like the cooler time of the year, do it here. But during the brutal time of the year now, I use AC. But for years, from like 2014 up until just last year, even in the summers here, I would work out in the heat at all times. I would never use AC. Okay. I would cramp a lot. I would use pickle juice. I would sip on pickle juice during my workout. And then I would drink pickle juice later on in the day. But I would get organic pickle juice. I'm not talking, you could use the stuff at the bottom of the jar, but I would get bottled organic pickle juice.
Okay. Also, we talk about cheat meals. And look, if you're going to the gym, maybe 5-6 days a week, you're training hard, watching what you eat during the whole week, and then maybe on a Saturday, Sunday, do you allow a cheat meal here and there with your clients?
I don't program in like you have to take a specific day a week to take a cheat meal. I tell people if you feel like eating something, eat it. And what I mean by that is, don't think in your head it's Saturday, I have to have my cheat meal today. Bro, if you're rolling and you feel great, skip your cheat meal. Who says you have to have it? But then let's say you go 12, 13, 16 straight days of clean eating, this and that, and all of a sudden one day you go, man, I feel like having something, whatever, throw whatever you want out there. Chicken parm. I'm just throwing something out there. Go ahead, have it. Go ahead, have it.
Okay.
I don't program it in. I do the same thing myself. I don't set where I go, well, I have to have a cheat meal on this day. And blah, blah. When I feel like it, I'll have it. Now, when I tell people when you feel like it, that doesn't mean, oh, I felt like it on Sunday, and then I felt like it again on Wednesday. Oh, then on Friday, I felt like it. No. If you feel like it, have it. But then that means you have to wait a while until your next one. Okay? You can't. It doesn't mean every time you feel like it, have it. What I just mean is, I don't program it in where every week, this day, that's the day you have your cheat meal. You can have whatever you want. I don't know. And some people think cheat meal is cheat day.
Okay.
And they get that confused too.
Okay. Yeah.
And what I try to tell people is, you don't have to, unless you're stepping on stage, you can be a little laxed. And what I mean by a little laxed is have your cheat meal when you feel like it, but don't be forced to have that cheat meal. If you don't feel like it, don't have it just for the sake of having it. I mean, I knew somebody one time that no matter what, even if they didn't feel like it, they would have their cheat meal every single Sunday. They would say to me sometimes, I wasn't even in the mood, but I still got the same thing they got for their cheat meal every week. Sunday, that's what I do. That's the day I'm allowed. And I'm like, that makes no sense. So you're telling me you don't even feel like it and you're eating it. Why? Continue to eat clean. And then when you do have that craving, go ahead and have it.
Okay. All right. Some people say, they can't find something good to eat for, let's say, breakfast. What do you could suggest? Eggs are always the best thing for like a breakfast meal.
Eggs are great, but actually, but I don't do that. I like eating eggs later, like throughout the day. I'll have eggs as meal, like throughout the day. I rather that. I'm not a huge fan of eggs on a deli. I've eaten the same thing for breakfast. I don't know, since I've been like 13, 14 years old. Okay.
Which is what? What do you eat for breakfast?
Oatmeal, protein in the oatmeal. Okay. So I'm getting everything in there. I'm getting my oats, I'm getting my carbohydrates, I'm getting my protein. Now, what's nice now is I used to always put a scoop of protein in my oatmeal, but there's that Kodiak oatmeal now with protein built in. It's got 20 grams of protein per. Okay. So for anybody, I hear people sometimes, oh, I don't like eating. I mean, I did there for a while. Fool around with just having protein shakes in the morning for breakfast. I'm not a fan of that. I like getting the carbohydrates in also. Okay.
Okay.
So I like the oat, and it's real simple. I tell everybody, how long did that take to make oatmeal? Come on, give me a break. For the people, I don't have time to eat breakfast in the morning. You don't have time for oatmeal? Come on. I can understand people saying, I don't have time to make eggs. You don't have time to make oatmeal? Come on. I don't care how rushed you are.
Okay.
One
of the questions I always get too is eating before you work out or after you work out. I mean, do you go to the gym? Like if you go to gym early, so you prefer to eat on a full stomach and work out? Because I know Arnold did not.
I eat an hour before I train at all times.
Okay.
So I leave it when I say, and I don't consider that a full stomach. I don't consider an hour before a full stomach.
Okay.
I give enough time for digestion. If you eat, I knew people up north in Jersey. I'm thinking of one person in particular. He used to eat. Let's say he would go to the gym at 5 o'clock, right? He would eat at 4:50 and then go work out. Like he'd be in his car and he would have Tupperware and he would take his last bite and then walk in the gym, go in the locker room, get changed, and then go and start training. Okay. That's a full stomach. And I'm not a fan of, because I tell people, you're going to understand, when you eat, blood goes into the stomach. Your stomach expands when you eat. Blood goes in there. That's actually taking away blood that can go to the muscles when you train.
Okay. I did not know that. So
that's why I tell people it's not a good idea to do that. Most people think, oh, yeah, but you'll get nauseous. I can care less if you're going to get nauseous. If you're going to get nauseous, go puke. I don't give a shit. My thing is you're taking blood away that could go to the muscles, okay? So that's too close to I always, I practice this forever. An hour before I train, I eat.
Okay.
Then I train.
Okay. Something else that people always ask me, and they say, oh, it's very important the first hour after you work out, you got to get protein in your body. So I've heard different myths about that. True. Yes. No. I mean, obviously you got to have protein because you're, in your body, but right after you work out, you got an hour window. Is that true or what?
I believe you have even less.
Really? Okay.
I have protein in me within 10 minutes after training.
Really? Okay. I didn't know that.
Within 10 minutes. I mean, literally the only thing I do before taking protein in after training is let the dogs out. So I'm done training. I let the dogs out, and then immediately I get that protein in me. So it's within 10 minutes at all times. Always. I'm big on. Back in the day, up in Jersey, I used to bring protein shakes and keep them in the car with me. So the moment I would, or at Gold's Gym, we used to just swipe them.
Yeah, as we would walk out, we would just take them.
Yeah, and we'd drink them immediately. You know what I'm saying? So I've always believed in, not even an hour. Get that protein in you immediately, as fast as you possibly can. But you need carbohydrates too after you're done training. So I take protein in. What I try to do is after I'm done training, at least 40 grams of protein. And then I take carbohydrates in too. I know some people are big on after training taking a big load of carbohydrates in. I'm not. I'll do about 40 grams of protein after I'm done training and about 28, 35, somewhere around there, grams of carbs. So
I notice sometimes, and after I work out, I'll have, because I like to have beef and some sort of beef or chicken. And I'll have, let's say, a hamburger. I know sometimes when I eat like a cheeseburger, I get very vascular right after I work out for a little while. Is that probably just the salt? I don't know. What is that from, you think?
Salt, you're getting the fat in you.
Okay, the
fat. You're getting, that's a combination of things. See, I have something I do before I train.
Okay.
It's actually people use in competition also, but before I train legs, I take 2 tablespoons in warm water, 2 tablespoons of honey.
Never heard of that.
Drink that, and that's before legs.
Okay.
And that actually does 2 things. Number one, the simple sugar in the honey is fantastic for a leg workout. Okay. Fantastic for a leg workout. And I take in literally no sugar. So that's the only sugar. So yes, you're allowed that. You know what I mean? And it's natural sugar. It's not, coming from all these, cakes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, And the other thing is it makes you, and this is what in competition it's used for too, it makes you ridiculously vascular.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. So that's what I like doing before legs. I don't do it on upper body days. I don't think it's needed. I don't think you need that sugar for fuel for upper body, honestly, but for lower body, you do that. Trust me, 2 tablespoons of honey, you will, if you train legs right, you will use it for fuel. You will not store it in your body. You don't have to worry about that. You know what I'm saying?
And this is for women also, that you should have more protein in their body, correct? You know, if they weigh, let's say 140 pounds, have 160 grams of protein or something.
160, 165. Yeah, exactly. Go, if you're over 50, take more protein in, because your body's not utilizing it. You got to think about something. Your body starts working in weird ways. You know what I mean? So it's not reacting the same way. The old adage, you lose muscle, you lose, and the whole thing is, as you get older, all right, I've heard for years upon years upon years, you can't build muscle after a certain age. You can't build muscle after a certain age. And, I don't believe that. I don't, but let's say you can't. Let's say I'm wrong and you can't. Well, why wouldn't you do everything you could to at least retain the muscle? See what I'm saying? So maybe I'm wrong. I do believe you could build muscle, okay, even as older, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong on that one.
Okay.
But if I am wrong, you can at least do everything in your power to retain the muscle that you have. Where, as well as I do, you see these people as they get older and they're walking all hunched over, or they could barely walk, or they could barely get up or get down, or it's because their muscle goes and it wastes away. And the other thing is, what I tell everybody is, it starts with your base. The quickest thing to go on people is their legs, their lower body. And as you get older, if you don't have strength in your legs, you are set up for failure. You're going to have a hard time as you age. You know what I mean? Yeah. So that's why I tell everybody, maybe you can't build muscle after a certain age. Again, I don't believe it, but maybe you can't. But you can retain it at least. You can definitely retain it. So if you spent your whole life building muscle, going to the gym, this and that, and I see people do this. Oh yeah, I worked out until I was in my mid 40s, and I was old. I stopped. Why? What? I don't understand that. Why? It's more important. You have to continue. I'd rather see somebody turn around and go, never worked out before 35 years old. Then at 35 years old, I realized the importance of it, and I started. Okay. No, you really. When I see the person that I worked out my whole life and I just stopped, I stopped after I had a couple kids. I stopped. Why? You worked out when it was easy. It's real easy when we're 23, 20. I mean, okay. You look at back in the day when we were in our mid-20s, late 20s, mid-20s. And we would work until, I think, what was it, 3 in?
Yep.
Wasn't it 3 in?
Yeah, about that. Yeah. Rosie's would close about 2:30. We'd hang out for a little while, probably about 3.
That's what 3. So 3 in, and then we would go to the diner.
Yeah, we go to diner.
Turkey burgers, this and that. Let's say we were at the diner for 40 minutes. Okay. By the time the food came, we ate this and that, 40 minutes. We didn't hang out and dilly-dally, you know what I'm saying? So let's say we were there for 40 minutes. So now you put this at around 3:30, 3:40 in the morning. Then sometimes there would be extracurricular activities until whatever time in the morning. Sometimes we would just go right home and go to bed. And by the time we're in bed, maybe it's 4 o'clock, 4:15, whatever. We still were at the gym the next day.
Yeah, we were. We were at the gym the next day.
There was no, it's not like we went to the gym the next day. Let's say it was a Saturday. We didn't go to the gym the next day at 5 o'clock. We were at the gym at like noon. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Hey, we got to get up, got to eat, got to go to the gym. Okay. And even if we were working on a couple hours sleep, try that now. Try that now. Try staying out until 3, 4 in the morning, going and eating, go get in, and then go to the gym a couple hours later. You'd be wrecked. You'd be wrecked. Your body would suffer. You'd probably end up pulling or tearing muscles. It's the worst thing possible. So you have to adjust. What we could do when we were younger, you can't do now. I mean, now, I'm going to be honest with you. If I get less than 9 hours sleep a night now, the next day I'm pretty much like, I can't cope with life.
Really?
I'm in a cranky mood. I need, you know, I'm to the point I need my 9 hours sleep. I get my 9 hours, I'm good. Okay. Remember back in the day, we could roll on 3-4 hours, we'd be fine.
Yeah. You know, and you know, I do that now. I don't sleep very well to begin with, but I don't sleep very well, but I only operate on like 5 hours sleep, maybe 6.
Damn.
Because I start my job because my shift's weird. I'll start at 4 a.m, work 12 to 13-hour days, and then I'll go right to the gym. And you talking about being tired, but I just do it. Boom. I just do it like this, you know, and it doesn't bother me.
And what time do you go to bed at night?
I'm usually in bed by 9.
Okay.
But I mean, like a time I dilly dally. Sometimes I don't get to sleep until maybe like 10, but I don't sleep. Little things wake me up, so I don't sleep very well. You know.
Okay. See, I'm the opposite. I sleep like a rock. I mean, I take my Somatamax, I go to sleep, and bombs can go off around me, and I'm dead. I'm dead to the world. Yeah.
No. But I mean, my schedule is just the way my schedule is very weird. Like coming up, we have Labor Day, and the way my schedule works, I'll be off like 10 days in a row before I go back to work. It's just the way it is, my schedule, because I work long shifts.
Wow.
So
okay. I didn't realize that.
It has its positive negatives. I'll work, let's say 4 to 5, 12, 13-hour shift days, but then I'll be off for like 5-6 days. Plus then you add in the holiday.
When you have those 10 days in a row off, is that when you go on vacation?
No, I'm working on all the podcast stuff.
Oh, okay.
So, but I will be going on vacation soon. But something else I want to talk is we both are over our 50. We're both over 50, and we both you carry more weight than I do. But like I said, I'm 225, around there, 226. You're what? 260, 270?
275.
Okay. At our age, is there a time, because people say, well, look, you can't be carrying that much weight on over 50 and eating the way we do. What do you think about that? Like being 60 years old, being almost 300 pounds. Is that good? Bad? What do you think?
It's not good at all. That's why I'm laughing, because I know where you were going, and I started laughing when you were saying it. No, it's not good at all. I've said this before on here, and I'll say it again. Your body, your heart, just knows body weight. Your heart doesn't differentiate between, he's carrying muscle, he's carrying fat. Your heart just has to work extra, has to pump extra blood because of the weight that's being carried around. Okay.
Yeah.
So I for years upon, you know what? Well, this is how far back we'll go. It was Gold's Gym in Paramus. And I was 29, about to be 30. And this is how far back we're going. And I remember saying to myself, all right, once I turn 30, I'm going to come down in weight. And at the time then, I was like 260, 265. Okay. I'm going to come down in weight. I'll never go above. I'm going to get real lean, and I'll hold 225 to 235 all year round. I'll never go above that. Okay. Well, then I realized, I can push it to 35. And then I was living down here, so I could push it to 40. And at 40, that's it. Now, I'll give you an example. I was still at 17, so we took it 9 years ago. Okay, still in my 40s, my early 40s, going up to, in the off season, to 310, 315.
Jesus, that's a lot of weight, man.
Remember that picture I sent you?
Yes.
You know what? Okay, when I was like 310, 315. Still going up to 310, 315, and then coming down to about 280, 285. You go even as back to 2021 or 22. Either way, 21 or 22. I think it was 21. 296. So I keep saying to myself, no, I've got it myself now. That's it. I don't go above 275. And I've been good at that for quite a few years now. About 4 years, 5 years, maybe. 275. That's it. I hold 275. I won't go above it. I no longer try to get extra meals in 8, 9, 10 meals a day to try to go up to 300. I don't do it anymore. I don't do it at all. Because I don't want to go to that. Now, I still say to myself all the time, well, I guess once I turn 60, I'm going to have to come down in weight. Maybe I'll come down to 240. But I've been this size for so long, I don't know if I can mentally do that. It's not about physically. It's about mentally. The way your shirts fit, the way your pants fit, the way... You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
And I don't know mentally if like... I mean, okay, when I had COVID really bad in 2020, okay? And I told you I couldn't train or anything, and I couldn't hold anything down, and I was puking and everything, and I dropped in those about a month span. I dropped from 285 to 232.
Wow, that's a lot.
Because I couldn't hold any food in. I couldn't even hold water in, okay? Anything I would take in, boom, came right back up. So literally for weeks, I couldn't hold down anything. Protein, nothing. At 232, now remember I'm 6'2", so at 232, I looked in the mirror and I thought, like, my God, I look like I have AIDS. Do you know what I'm saying? Now, most people, you'd say, oh, 232. That's fine. You know what I mean? No. For me, I look like I had AIDS. And I immediately, the moment I could start eating again and I could go and start training again, my weight went in 6 weeks from 232 all the way up to 296. Because I could eat again. But I don't know if I ever, mentally, I say to myself, oh yeah, I'm going to go down in weight. I don't know if I ever mentally can, because it's just, when you're that weight for so long, like you see, like, I have clients that tell me, like, look at the linemen in the NFL. Look at the moment they come out, they retire, they come down in weight. And I say to them, yes, but hold on a minute. A lot of these linemen, they're retiring at 33, 34 years old. They haven't been that weight their whole life. You know what I mean? There's a difference. They knew, okay, they have to be that weight for 14 years. That's it. So I don't know. But no, to answer the question, no, it's not good. We want to be lighter. We want you want to be, because but I already know. I mean, hey, listen, this is how I am. I'm probably, I'm not gonna say probably. I guarantee you, I shaved years off my life by carrying this weight around my entire life. But you know what? On the flip side of things, I didn't get the COVID vax.
We're going to talk about that soon. But and people don't realize, if you're 250 pounds of fat compared to 250 pounds of muscle, your heart works harder with the muscle in your body because it's got to push the blood through the muscle, correct?
Yep.
So people don't realize that. You're almost healthier being 250 pounds of fat.
Honestly, yeah, because your heart is actually working overtime to pump through the muscle. And you got to remember, the more muscle you hold on your body too, the more oxygen intake is needed also. So it is kind of a catch-22. I mean, in an ideal world, the perfect fit physique would be these guys that have the beach physiques at like 5'11" and 175 pounds. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Last time I weighed that, I was in high school. So I mean, let's be serious.
Yeah. So the people that are over 50 and they're trying to eat right and everything, you recommend they stay under a certain weight, at least like 220, right? Or at least 200 pounds, or even less than that?
It depends on height.
Yeah.
And it also depends on what you've done, like, as far as like, if you've been a competitive bodybuilder, if you've been your whole life a larger size, or you know what I mean? I mean, I still train my legs the way I've always trained my legs. So I hold a lot of weight in my lower body. So that's another thing too. A lot of people, when you look at them, they don't hold weight in their lower body. They have the skinny little legs, and they have I call them the Jersey Shore physiques. Okay.
Yes.
The jacked upper bodies and the little legs. If you don't have that base where you have a lot of weight held in your legs and your ass and all that, you will have a much easier time just taking weight off. Much easier time. If you said, hey, I'm done being big. I want to, well, you're gonna have a real easy time doing that. Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to say under 200 pounds, because if you go by healthy, doctors, for example, they consider me morbidly obese. I'm supposed to be 6'2", 195 pounds.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
So yeah, you know what I'm saying. So I mean, well, what do you weigh?
Me, I'm like 225.
Okay, could you imagine? I think for your healthy weight, you should be like 175. Could you imagine taking 50 pounds? I mean, think about it. That's like,
no, I couldn't.
You'd be like you look in the mirror and you'd be like, who am I?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So to say under 200 pounds, no, I don't say that, because you can be healthy at 210. You can be healthy. I just say, listen, at 275, no, I know that's not the best thing for my heart. I know that. But that's how I've lived my whole life. I'm not going to change that now. You know what I'm saying? I'll probably die in a year or a year and a half anyway. So,
in certain body types too, like me, I could smell food and I can gain weight. I gain weight very easily. So I got to be careful. Like a couple of years ago, I was at that pic, you saw it. I was like almost 250 with Mark.
Yeah.
I mean, I gain weight quick, and I could bulk up really quick. So I got to be careful for myself. So I try to stay within the 220 pound range around there. I don't want to go too much farther than that.
See, and I'm the complete opposite of you. I can drop weight really quick.
Oh, really? Okay.
Yes, I've always been able to. If I want to just drop weight like this, I have to. Like, for example, if I decided tomorrow, I'm not eating 6 or 7 times a day. I'm not making sure I'm getting all that protein in on a daily basis. Okay, I try to get my marker. I try to hit 300 grams of protein a day. It's a lot of protein.
That
it's
is
a lot of protein. I mean, then people wonder why my toilet's clogged 24/7. So, I guess it's a lot. It's a lot of protein. So, if I decided tomorrow, I'm just going to get in what I want to eat. I'm going to eat 3 times a day. I'm going to eat breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and whatever protein that comes with that, I'm going to eat that. Okay. I'll have, I'll make sure I get, my chicken, but I'm going to have 3 meals a day. I'm not going to go over and beyond and try to stuff myself and all this kind of stuff. I would probably, if I started eating like a normal person, drop 30 pounds like that. I have to force eat to keep my body weight on. So.
Wow. Okay. That's interesting. I didn't know that. And when eating, do you eat fish and chicken, or you don't stay away from? What do you have?
I love fish. Huge on salmon, huge on tuna. You love fish. I'm a big fish person.
Okay.
I like fish because I feel fish I can stay very lean on compared to other proteins. Love fish. Salmon especially. I love it. Sushi. I just love fish in general. Love fish in general. Chicken, yes, love chicken. Lean
Beef.
Meat, absolutely. Eggs, but I'm a huge fish person. Huge fish person. Yeah. Okay. More fish than most people eat. I mean, usually 2 of my meals a day are fish. Most people don't eat that a week. As far as fish goes, I eat at least 2 of my meals every single day are fish. So.
Yeah. Okay. And I tell people my age too, drink more water, I don't drink alcohol at all. I don't, once in a while, I'll have a glass of wine for like a holiday or something, holiday party or something, but I really don't drink alcohol. I don't go out and drink at all. I don't smoke, but I tell people, because I see some people drinking always like a Coca-Cola here. And I said, stay away from that stuff, drink water, drink, that kind of stuff. I drink seltzer a lot, actually.
Soda's bad for you.
Yeah, soda's very bad for you. Very bad for you. I tell people.
Here's another thing people don't realize. Soda, carbonated beverages, they're no good for kidney stones.
Really? Okay.
A lot of people don't realize that. If you pound a lot of soda and this and that, obviously there's other reasons why it's no good. You get a ton of sugar and all this kind of stuff. But there's other reasons also. I just tell everybody, there's little things that people don't even realize. But water, absolutely. You got to take a lot of water, and taking hydration beverages in, with no sugar or anything, like the Prime. Okay, this is the Prime hydration, not the Prime energy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But the hydration drinks. There's another one, Joy Burst hydration drinks. Those are fine to take in. Okay. Those are fine to take in. I do that. I do plenty of water. But all the other stuff, like I don't drink anything like iced tea or lemonade, anything with sugar. I don't bother with it at all.
Okay. So we know about eating over 50 the way you should be. Now, one thing I want to talk about was we were talking about COVID. Kevin Nash was on his podcast to click, click this. And he was talking to Sean Oliver and he was talking about his son. And there's been stuff coming out, Val Venus and stuff is set out about his son that possibly the COVID vaccine had something to do with his death. What do you think about this situation?
Well, Val Venus, I don't know if you saw it. He first came out and Val Venus is right on what he's saying, but because he's so far right wing, he's bashed. Okay, but he originally first came out and said, "Listen, I wish Triple H would come clean and be honest with people, and stop with this. Oh, it must be a genetic defect. Oh, it must be this." Very coincidentally, Triple H got the COVID vax, and then he had a heart attack.
Yeah.
I mean, like that, where he was on his deathbed, where they called Stephanie and his kids, and basically they were giving him last rites. That's how far gone he was. Okay. And Val Venus went and said, "Listen, I wish you would come up clean." Now, Bray Wyatt, very coincidentally, got vaxxed, then started getting all these health concerns and died in his sleep. His brother now has heart problems the same way. A lot of this going on. Now, Kevin Nash's son, technically, okay, so what happened was Kevin Nash's son had an alcohol problem, okay? A bad alcohol problem. Nash and his son both decided, listen, Nash did it for the kid. I will quit alcohol cold turkey with you. If you can quit it, I'll quit it, and we'll do a cold turkey. Well, they quit it cold turkey. Then the kid had a heart attack and died. What was attributed to it originally was because his body was dependent on the alcohol and quitting it cold turkey, that had him suffer a heart attack. I don't know. I haven't heard about that happening too much, people quitting alcohol and having a heart attack from it, but whatever. And now things are coming out that, well, was that the truth, or was the truth is because it was from the COVID vax? And even Nash is starting to kind of lean into that a little bit now. And remember, Nash is very leftist.
Yes.
Okay. He hates Trump. He's a big Kamala supporter and a Biden supporter. And, Val Venus said this. And while Nash wasn't happy that he said it, there's some, it is in the back of my head. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Listen, you see all the deaths we had this week alone. Now, I understand people are going to say right away, oh, they're older. No, hold on. Dolly Parton, 80. Tim Curry, 80. A lot of people, this went under the radar the other day. Shelley Fabares. Do you know who that is? 84 years old. She was the girlfriend in Coach. Remember, she was in the show Coach? She played Francine at One Day at a Time, and she was on the Donna Reed show. Okay?
Yep.
She died, 84.
We just lost Peter Cullen, who played Optimus Prime.
Optimus Prime, 85. Now, everybody, if I text this to people, if I say this, oh, but come on, they're old. Whoa, hold on. COVID was originally designed to weed out the older population. That's what its intent was to do. Okay? It didn't get its job done well enough. So then, hence, we entered the vaccine. When the vaccine came out of the market in 2021, I was on record saying to many, many people, you're going to see people dropping like flies in 5 years. And where are we right now? 5 years.
People dropping down every day. Someone news dropping.
Every day you see somebody else. And this is just the famous people that you hear about. We're not hearing about the average everyday Joes like you and me. You know what I'm saying? You or I could drop dead tomorrow and you wouldn't see it all over the internet and on the New York Post and this and that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this is just the famous people. What about all the everyday people?
Yep. 100% right. All right, Garrett, another great show. Guys, where can they find you when you're on an Instagram, right?
Pope Training, all one word. Pope Training, Instagram. You can follow me.
All right. Sounds good, man. I will see you next week. Talk to you in a little bit, my man.
See you next week.
You got it, man.